Welcome back to Studio F, where on Fast Times Willy B, we'll be reviewing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell, take it away.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I've got Brennan with me. Brennan, we continue down the path of Texas Chainsaw.
We do.
As we will start now with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Got to watch this one, so I'm feeling good too. So, we've got Tobe Hooper back in the director's chair. Again, icon. Can't say it enough. He's made a name for himself in this genre, to say the least. We got Dennis Hopper, probably one of the bigger names until we get to McConaughey when it comes to the Texas Chainsaw franchise. And then Bill Johnson, I think it is, plays Leatherface. We got a new guy behind the mask, but
You never know.
another good one, you know. So we'll start with the good. And as soon as this movie ended for me in my watch, I texted you and I said, I'm very interested to talk about this movie because obviously this was my first time watching it. I'd only seen the original and the Netflix monstrosity before we decided to do this 4-movie review. And this second one I've heard great things about, and so I was interested to watch it, but I've also heard bad things about it, so I was like, I wonder what end of the spectrum I'm going to be on. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
This movie, it definitely dives more into a horror comedy route, but I think I liked it a lot because of that.
I do too. For me, the first one is top tier, and I think there is no way you're topping that. So
Yeah.
him taking the more comedic route to this, adding more gore, I think was done very well. Like,
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by, in the first video I said the gore might not be like blood gore wise in the first one. The second one amps that up. There's definitely more. You mean you get that whole dump gut scene when they find the place they're staying, but
Even the opening scene, the car with his
that
head.
scene was awesome.
I love that scene.
That
It's
intro
one of my favorites.
was awesome.
Yeah.
It introduces Stretch, who is our radio host and ends up being our final girl of the film. And then, yeah, you got these two douchebag, just graduated high school, going to college type of vibe is what I was getting. Calling into the radio station, terrorizing Stretch because she's a lady, and they're just being
Shooting
a-holes.
guns at
Yeah.
mailboxes and
Yeah.
street signs
They're just
and
being-
whatever else.
Yeah. And so the second time they call, after playing chicken with this truck, the truck comes back, and that's where we get our introduction to Leatherface in this movie, and he's terrorizing them with a much longer chainsaw in this movie. And the scene where he's like, "Whoo, we dodged them there," and then he looks over and half his head is missing. Dude,
Yeah.
that was insane. That was awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hate saying awesome because he got his head cut off like halfway, but like he
It's
got
awesome.
what he deserved.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so it's just
No,
you're allowed to
that's-
say awesome when it's somebody like
Yeah,
that.
that's, I don't know. That's arguably my favorite scene in it.
Yeah.
In the movie, and it was the opening scene.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of good ones, but something about that one.
yeah,
I mean, he's basically using that puppet
yeah,
kind of behind him. I don't know. And the extendo chainsaw. I don't
yeah.
know.
It was cool.
It's fun.
Something about this movie is it is, I think, 25 minutes longer than the original. In this one, I'd put the pacing in the good because this one, I mean, it's almost balls to the wall the entire time.
Yeah.
The only downtime you really get is like when he goes to when Stretch takes Lefty the cassette that might help him, and then you get the chili cook-off. That's like probably the slowest part of this movie because once he realizes they're on the radio, another great scene is when Chop Top and Leatherface come to the radio station.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was a fun one. By the way,
Horny Leatherface, huh?
yeah. You know, give the guy. The guy deserves love, right? I mean,
I don't know.
he's not the mastermind. He's just doing what he's told.
I don't know. A little different turn. But I think it just
Didn't expect to see such a hot scene in Texas Chainsaw, right? When she's telling him no good and going up the line. Like,
I don't know. It's quite the turn. But I mean, you see it throughout the whole movie. It's
for sure.
A whole comedic turn compared to the first one.
Yeah.
Which I think it was done very well.
At the end of the day, he's just a boy.
Yeah. I like the chili cook-off scene, though, too.
Yeah.
I think you immediately know he's putting something
Oh, yeah.
secret.
And that's where you officially get the Sawyer name.
Yeah.
Is announced right there.
You got his, what is it, like Dalton or something?
Yeah, Dalton Sawyer. And, I mean, his line in that, too. I'm really good at finding prime cut meat, and obviously
you just know,
everybody at that chili cook-off
as soon as he wins it, you just know.
Yeah, so that, I mean, it's still a good scene. I'm saying that's just probably the slowest part, and it's still not even that
no, like I don't think it
very
really,
fast paced, but I enjoyed it.
Necessarily added much to it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it brings them back into the
it made sense.
But no, that radio scene was awesome. With especially not even as much so as Leatherface. I'm not even talking about the part where Leatherface gets falls in love with Stretch and what's the guy's, is it?
I can't remember.
TG? Because I thought she said TJ at first. I think she said TG. Anyways, that her co-host or whatever is getting his head beat in. That's not the part I'm talking about. Before he even gets back, and it's almost like the tour scene. I just thought that scene it almost had me unsettled. Like I was on the edge of my seat waiting for Chop Top to do something too.
Oh yeah.
And then the Leatherface coming out of that, I jumped. It got me.
I think that's very.
It was a
done jump scare.
Very good jump scare.
Yeah.
I was in the car watching it on my phone, and I'm sitting next to Rosie, and I went, whoa! And everybody looked at me, and I was like, sorry.
No, I think that was...
Watching it with AirPods got me good.
Yeah.
but
yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, he's, I don't know, I mean, it's kind of like the Hitchhiker in the first one. He's just deranged.
So, I had to do some searching, because obviously they look very similar.
I thought the same thing.
But Hitchhiker died in the first one. They're twin brothers.
Okay.
And my guess, I didn't do it as much digging as I probably should have. My guess is, in the first movie, he was away at Nam. Because he kept saying, Nam flashback, Nam flashback.
Okay.
So that's my guess. Or he's just a psychopath and wasn't in the first movie.
A little bit of
which
everything.
Could be the case.
Yeah, I don't know. They did look very similar. And I was like...
And it's not even the same actor. That's the crazy part.
I know. I looked that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's not the same guy, so it's not him.
Yeah.
But I didn't look any more into it. So
yeah, but like with the scar or the scar coming down his face, they are twin brothers, Chop Top and Hitchhiker. So that was cool. Because I literally searched, is Chop Top and Hitchhiker the same person?
I was like,
and it said no, they're twin brothers. I was like, that's what I was thinking.
There's no way they put like a metal plate in his head, and that's all I needed from that.
Yeah,
like, he definitely died getting completely smushed.
But like that scene where he's like lighting the hanger on fire and like the sound on it too, you hear it. And, dude, like. That radio station scene was really good, and then we basically get the party in hell, is what they call it, for the rest of the movie. With you got Lefty just going around cutting all the pillars down, and you got Stretch just trying to get away.
When Lefty went and find some chainsaws, and then he tells him to try him out in that big wooden log, and like the owner or whatever is just. I don't know. It's just kind of amazement that he's hacking away at this massive tree. But when he's sitting there too, going kind of like dual wielding, I don't know. Yeah, it's cool that they both got extendo.
I like the color a lot in this movie. I think it you can feel 80s with this one. You got, I mean, this one's 1986. You've got the radio station just has vibrant reds and blues and neon. And then downstairs they have like traffic lights and just obscure objects lighting up the paths, and I think it just creates for chaos, honestly.
When she's running, I mean, it's a little bit later in the movie, when she comes out and hears the chainsaw, it's actually Lefty. And she runs back, and just like the lights overhead, and there's like dead people hanging, and people in like chairs and stuff clear down this hallway. It just, there's so much.
Another cool connection to the first one was Lefty finding Franklin's skeleton. That was cool. With the flashlight, I thought that was just, a little cool throw and a little Easter egg for us, that love that first one. So I thought that was cool. And then just, we obviously the ending I would say like the final resolution starts very similar to the first one in the sense that they're trying to get Grandpa to beat her head in so he can get his liquid diet. But once Lefty shows up, you got a fun chainsaw match.
Yeah, it was funny when they kind of wanted to run away, and the grandpa's sitting there, and he just stuck the hammer with them. Like, he's going to do much. Like, they have chainsaws and whatever else, and he just gave him the hammer again. I don't know.
Got chainsaw up the rear end for Dalton, and he has his little one-liners where he's like, small business owners always get it up the ass.
Yeah, he said something about almost fried my beans with that one or something, too. Like, I think he did a very good job. Like,
I liked everybody in this one again, too. So you got Chop Top chasing Stretch, but I'm looking solely at this part. It was just fun. And then you got, Lefty gets a good one in the gut to him, and then you got the grandpa who throws the hammer and hits Leatherface in the head, and that causes the explosion. Just rest in peace. Rest in peace to all of them until the third one, I guess. I guess we'll see what was made of it, but as far as we know, this is like the end.
There was just so much that happened, but I think it was all very well. Like, it's almost catacombs of their world. I don't know, just everything, all the past stored down there, dead bodies, all that, and then like you said, the guts dumping down the tube or whatever. Oh, it's just, I think the gore and the comedy just made it so much fun.
And the ending too, I love. So obviously, spoiler alert on this video, so on all videos. So if you are this far, obviously Stretch makes it out. She's our final girl, and she gets the chainsaw from the great grandmother and sends Chop Top to his demise. But her doing the little dance at the end, at the top
when
of the
it kind of like
she's I was like, I like that. I like that. That was cool.
Kind of full circle from him doing it at the first and then her doing it.
I think I might have liked. Sally's just so iconic, but I really enjoyed Lefty and Stretch. Close. I really enjoyed Lefty and Stretch as our two main characters in this one. I definitely didn't mind Texas Chainsaw falling for Stretch. I thought that was cool, because it kind of humanized him. I feel like
being deprived of so much.
Yeah, when you think of like all of these slasher monsters we've got, there's not very many situations where they get humanized. But at the end of the day, the Sawyer family is humans, and I think that was cool. Like, he feels love.
Yeah,
and it kind of made him think that he want SCEX, or did he want the Saw? And the Saw is family. But I thought that was fun. Honestly, Chop Top was probably my favorite addition. I think. I mentioned my gripes with Hitchhiker and how he kind of ran after, but Chop Top was just like, I feel like we got more because we got so much more lines from him, more talking, and
that's fair. He was
and I loved the metal play. He looked like a character from like a video game.
I don't even know. It was so weird.
Yeah,
like I don't know. He's just so goofy looking. But I mean, the entire family's goofy wackos. I don't know.
That's true. Anything else in the good for you?
I don't think so. It was a complete opposite almost of the first one, but I think it was done well.
Yeah, good change of pace.
Yeah, like I don't think there was really any top in the first one for me personally, and so I kind of like the way that he made it. Kind of add a little more gore. Yeah, nothing over the top.
No, it was still pretty mild.
And add some comedic relief to it. Yeah, more dark humor, but I think it was well done.
Yeah. So we'll hop over to the med then. Once again, I don't think I have anything in the bad. I'll start the.
I don't think I do either.
Yeah. I don't know what you got for the med. I feel like you might have more than that here. You didn't have anything left.
Not too much. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Much as I like the first one, like I keep saying, not like opposite, but it's more comedic. Like, I don't feel like you feel things as much in the first one as you do in this one, but it was enjoyable all the way around for me. I don't know. I don't think it just captured me, like pulled me in as much as the first one. Like, I think, again, feeling like I feel like the first one you just capture so much emotion. It pulls you in. You
feel more immersed.
Yeah, and I don't think it did that for me, but I also think that's part of the comedic relief. And which I don't hate. It's just, for me, I don't know. I don't think you get connected too much like the first one.
Yeah.
For me.
One thing I'd throw in the mat, I don't know if I loved the introduction to hell, like their house. I don't know if I loved the car chase scene. And then like the vault opening and she drops down it. My only thing with that is like these guys all seem pretty stupid and they made that. So like I don't know. So at first I was like, oh, where's this movie go? Because I was really enjoying it. I loved the radio scene. And then once we got down into it though, that's when I was like, oh, we're back.
I can't remember what he said. I mean, obviously they don't seem very intelligent.
Yeah.
But there was something Dalton said when that pipe dropped down. And he said something about it. Maybe it bursted some kind of line or something. I can't remember what it said. So I mean, from what he said, it seems like he kind of has some kind of knowledge.
That's fair.
Maybe like mechanic or something. Like he.
I mean, he did own the mechanic shop in the first movie.
Maybe good with his hands.
So I guess that's fair.
I don't think it's completely out of the realm that it's possible that they did this, but I definitely know what you mean. That they're all seem like they're lacking in intelligence.
Yeah, and then my other mat I have is the grandpa. I feel like he was somehow stronger in this movie.
Oh, he for sure was.
I was like, 14 years have passed, or 15, or whatever, how many years they said, and all of a sudden, he's winging that hammer.
Yeah.
In that first movie, he couldn't hold on to it.
I don't think he really did anything in the first one. And then he was like licking, like using his tongue a lot. I'm like...
And they said he's like 137.
Yeah, where'd that
so for
come
me,
from?
that was just like a continuity thing.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't anything that killed the movie for me.
No.
And then... I don't know. I liked the ending. I don't know if I loved the setting of the ending, like the mountain climb type thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
and then how great grandmother's just chilling up there, like. But
I don't know.
I loved what we got from it. With you know, so I hate shitting on it. So, but that's really it. Like again, it's some minor things. Just like with the first one, there was nothing that killed this movie for me. I had a really good time watching this. So I agree. I ended up falling in the category of the people that enjoy this movie.
I do too. I don't think I've heard so much bad about this compared to like the other ones.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple things here and there. But
I haven't heard like some people. I've heard some people just like are middle of the road on it. I haven't heard like anybody say they think it's as bad as 3 or 4. So
no. Which
I'm excited to watch those. But we'll hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with Texas Chainsaw Part 2, and what do you give it out of 10? I'm interested to hear the score.
I don't know. I'm almost scared because the first one's perfect for me. The second one I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
But I know it's only downhill from here.
Yeah.
At least with 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching 03 and 06, and I definitely have to revisit those. But I think I enjoyed them. Mm-hmm. But so I'm kind of nervous about that. But based on the second one, I enjoyed it a lot. I think the comedic relief, more dark humor, add a little more gore. I think helped. I don't know. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Score. I think I was between an 8 and an 8.5, but I think I'm gonna have to settle on an 8.
Okay.
I don't have too much to say about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just don't think it pulled me in.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like as much emotionally. Like I wasn't so much connected to Lefty or anybody like that. Like I was maybe Sally, but in the first one. But maybe that's my only knock on this movie. But I think I'm gonna have to settle on an 8.
So I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. And when we were reviewing the first one, you said something I kind of smirked at you, and it was because I was like, I had that thought. I'm gonna say it during the second one. This is what it is. I gave both movies an 8. I think the first one is a better movie. I think the second one was more entertaining.
Yeah.
Especially at times. So I think I'm gonna give them both 8s. From a filmmaking standpoint, the first one's better, but from entertainment value, like this one might have more replay value for me. Like I might, but I've also seen the first one so many times that like I'm probably gonna revisit this one next time I go to revisit the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just because it has less watches. Like, this is my first watch. And who's to say that maybe on a second watch it doesn't dip a little, but I still would say if I'm ranking them, I'm going 1-2, but I'm giving them the same score. So
I have issues with that, but that's fine.
I'm giving the first one a stronger 8. If that makes sense. But good start to the franchise.
That's why I'm kind of let down because I've only heard it's downhill from here.
Yeah, so
I'm a little nervous about that, but
we'll tackle them. We'll tackle them in the next couple of days. 3 and 4 coming our way. Just gotta remember McConaughey is in the path. to the finish line.
So we gotta make it past 3 though.
Yeah, I know. So
I don't even know what he's like in the 4th one. I don't think I've seen. Like I know he's in it. I don't think I've seen much of anything at all
from either of those movies.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
I don't know what he does or who he is in that.
Yeah.
I just know he's in it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's all I need though.
We're
to look forward to
some
it.
Fun, right?
Yeah.
So. That'll do it for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Brennan, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Continue with us as we continue through the first 4 Texas Chainsaw Massacres in the Sawyer family's arc. Let us know what you think of the first 2 movies. Go back, watch the first one if you haven't already. Stay tuned. 3 and 4 are coming your way in the next couple of days. But we will talk to you all very soon. Peace.